Imagine you're looking for work. You've been unemployed for a few months. You find a job that matches your qualifications. You overlook the fact that the salary isn't listed. You apply for the position. After going through multiple rounds of interviews, you get the job offer. The salary they propose is significantly below the last salary that you had. And to make matters worse, they're not willing to go past that pay range. All that time was wasted when you could have not applied for that job in the first place. Here's another scenario. You're on a team of engineers. They all have the same job title and job description as you. The scope of daily work is exactly the same. One of your coworkers who was hired 3 months ago accidentally mentions their salary. He is still learning on the job, but the salary is significantly higher than yours. This creates tension, and the root cause is a lack of pay transparency. So, that's our topic that we're going to address today. It's going to be pay transparency. It is considered taboo and a violation of a social contract to talk about your pay with your coworkers, and this is enforced also by human resources. They think it's bad form to do that, which makes sense, especially in scenario 2. If people find out that you're making more money than them, then it creates issues. At the same time, people will argue that they have the right to privacy of their pay, which also makes sense. If there is a difference in pay, then of course there's going to be resentment and there's going to be discord in the team. What's more important, though, is the fact that it's becoming more and more uncommon for laws to be passed to make pay transparent, most notably in California.
In a work environment, pay and incentives increase productivity and performance. However, if there's a salary secrecy, then it could lead to more issues. Let's discuss the negative effects of salary secrecy in our company. We learned in equity theory that employees compare their inputs, which are experience and effort, to outputs, in this case is salary, compared to their peers. Since there is no salary information, it has led employees to assume that they are underpaid. We also have noticed an increased percentage of less motivated employees, which further causes more uncertainty within the organization due to the possible higher turnover in the near future. Then expectancy theory states that motivation is the highest when employee efforts are rewarded based on their performance. Again, salary secrecy affects the instrumentality portion, where employees are ensured if their high performance will translate to higher salary within the company. As mentioned before, there's no salary information in the job listing, which then affects the commitment towards the company's credibility for paying talent fairly, since there's no baseline to compare the metrics. Next, let's look into Noria's 4 needed framework, which is acquire. Employees will want to know if they will be compensated fairly, but secrecy undermines this. Next is defend, where uncertainty in salary information lowers trust and causes further stress. Then bond, where pay secrecy can lead to resentment if it's not within their price expectations or salary range. Lastly, comprehend, when there is a lack of information in pay, which leads to reading between the lines, which could further cause confusion. So as we can see, that all 4 aspects of Noria's framework failed, which is a big indicator that there's an issue at hand. As a result, the lack of transparency is hurting our company because of the disengagement of employees, mistrust, and lack of guidelines in the salary category. And company hiring will be affected in the future, especially with external applicants, due to this missing information in the job listing, and which could lead to further bad perceptions of what the company might be because they're not providing any information. So in conclusion, if we do address the issue in a timely manner, there's hope for us to change this. And I'll be handing this over to Jenny to talk about the possible solutions. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jenny Chang, your Strategic Communications Director, and I'm here to talk about how we can implement pay transparency in a way that strengthens our organization rather than disrupts it. The good news is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Many companies have already paved the way, so we can take a structured, phased approach to ensure fairness while minimizing challenges. We'll look at the phased approach in 5 steps. A phased approach will allow us to smoothly transition in a manner that allows us to address concerns as they come up. We recommend a rollout in distinct phases to ensure fairness and to minimize disruption. Step 1 is to audit salaries and to address pay gaps. Before any information goes out to the public or information is released internally, it's important to address pay disparities and to audit salaries internally first. Do this before making internal pay transparent. Step 2 is to inform the company of pay range transparency. Employees should be informed by leadership, focusing on equity, attracting top talent, and overall, the benefit it is to the organization. Step 3 is to implement pay range transparency. Start posting new jobs with a pay range very clear. This publicly sets the start of the practice. We need to ensure fairness by reviewing current compensation and addressing pay gaps. Step 4 is to educate managers on pay range transparency. Managers should be equipped with information they need to confidently address frequently asked questions. Step 5 is to gradually unfold internal pay transparency. Once we establish pay ranges and clear communication, we can gradually introduce full pay transparency across departments. These steps ensure that we implement pay transparency in a way that benefits both employees and the company.
Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate you taking the time to join me today for an important discussion, one that directly impacts our culture, our people, and our future. We heard from Thomas, Aldrin, and Jenny about how pay transparency can affect our company. Here we believe in fairness, trust, and accountability. But to truly live by these values, we must ensure our compensation practices reflect them. That's why today I want to talk to you about the importance of that pay and compensation transparency, not just when we hire people, but across our entire workforce. Transparency in pay isn't just the right thing to do, it's essential for building a workplace where everyone feels valued and empowered. When people understand how pay decisions are made, we foster equity, trust, and inclusivity. And let's be clear, transparency isn't just about the numbers, it's about clarity in how and why pay decisions are made. It ensures that compensation is based on skills, contributions, and market standards, not bias, secrecy, or guesswork. It helps us attract the best talent, retain our people, and build a culture where everyone has a fair shot at success. Some action items like we've heard from Thomas, Aldrin, and Jenny are clear salary ranges, the ability to have open conversations, and regular pay audits. We need to provide clear and consistent salary ranges for all the roles, internally and externally. We need to create more opportunities for discussions around career growth, pay equity, and total compensation, as well as conduct regular pay audits to address any discrepancies in fairness across all levels. This isn't just a policy change, it has to be a cultural shift in how we operate. We want every employee to feel confident that their work is being recognized and fairly rewarded. I encourage you each to engage in these conversations, not only at your teams, but across the enterprise. Ask questions, seek clarity, and hold us accountable. As leaders, I expect you to champion these changes within your teams. This is more than just about compliance. It's about building a company where transparency drives trust and trust drives overall success. Thank you for coming together and being a part of this change. Together we can make our organization a place where fairness isn't just a goal, it's a guarantee. Let's make this happen.